Well, guys, I'm at the park. It's late in the afternoon. I got Cole with me. He's having a ball. I guess they got things set up out here so that they can have an art fair this weekend. They got sections, chalked off or whatever. There's a couple of people backpacking. Guy and his girl. Must be nice to have a woman that likes to do stuff like that. But that's not my reality. But anyway, Cole and I are out here at the park enjoying the breeze. It's a little late in the evening. I think it's about 6:30 or something like that on a Thursday afternoon. It's relatively nice out here. The guy sitting over there, just chilling. I don't see nobody else out and about. They got a trailer over here, men's and women's bathroom, whatever. So they got good facilities out here. Nice little setup. So yeah, so today at work went nice, guys. There wasn't no drama. I called them out on their staring or whatever. People will stare at you, and that's normal for me. Whatever. Every job I go on, people are watching me, staring at me, because I'm kicking ass. I'm throwing down. I'm working harder than anybody else out there, and people notice that, and they seem to be attracted to it or drawn to it. They can't get enough of it. So they stare, And because of the years of experience with working with guys on different jobs and seeing them staring at me and looking at me and working security, you learn to notice people without them notice that you're looking at them. And I have a gift of being able to see people out of the corner of my eye just as good as I can see them if I'm looking right at them. You can see something out of the corner of your eye. You can see it moving or standing still or whatever. But I can actually make out your face when you're doing that shit. I can make out your eyeballs. I can see what you're staring at or whatever. If you're staring at me, I can see it. And I told them guys that today or whatever. I say, I see you guys looking, whatever. Now, of course, when you bring that to their attention, they're going to deny it, But I'm like, there's no sense in denying it. And, I've been studying you guys for 2 days now. And I see every time you stare at me and looking, and everything, I see everything you're doing. You're hiding or whatever, and you bullshitting and seeing what I'm doing, and paying attention to what's going on the job. I see all that shit, So that's the way it goes, So there's no point in denying the shit, whatever, because I can see, But that's what people do. They look at you and stare at you. And like I say, you can look at people. You have to pay attention to what people are doing and what's going on around you, your surroundings. That's situational awareness. You gotta be paying attention to that stuff. That guy done got up and walked off. So, but there's a limit to it and whatever, to just sit there and just veg out looking at a motherfucker and shit. That's distracting and whatever. And see, the thing is, they don't know I can see them. They think I got my head in my ass and I'm just steady working, and I'm not paying attention to them or whatever. And if people don't think you're looking at them, they will stare at you, to no end, because they think you're not paying attention to them. You won't see them, so they think they got, carte blanche to just looking at you. So Anyway, I'm paying attention to people and what they're doing. There's a girl walking her dog. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There she is right there. I guess she's tired. Little dog, don't come this way, please. Because Cole sees you. Look at him. She's coming this way. I gotta get in control of him. Hold on. Okay, guys, they passed. She's over there, way over there. Going that way with her dog. So, Cole was good. So, that's good. But like I was saying, guys, people look at you and watch you. Or me, I noticed it because I'm annoyed at people's even presence of being around me. So I'm sensitive to that shit. So when I'm saying they're looking at you, they're staring at you hard. They're looking at you trying to read your face so they can draw a picture of you, you know, later or something, whatever. If they have to have a artist draw your face, they're looking at you to that extent to where they can memorize you. They're committing you to memory. They're imprinting on your face, whatever. That's why I see people in different places and they remember me because they've made an imprint of my face. They looked at me so hard that they can remember me days, weeks, even years later, you know, because they're absorbing every little detail they can get and whatever. And that's unnerving to know that somebody's looking at you that fucking close, you know, totally unnerving, you know. So it actually pisses you off. So when they do that, I'll call them out on it. I'm like, you know, you guys are looking too hard, you know, paying attention to me too closely, you know. You want to be able to have an artist draw me a picture of me later, whatever. And that's just how it is. It's annoying and it's unsettling, you know. And but people will do that, you know. But anyway, the day went by smoothly. Other than that, the one guy showed up late today. Everybody else came. There was a girl. There was another girl worked with us. You know, I think Monday and Tuesday. She didn't come. I think she's done. I don't think she's coming back because she was her work. You know, she wasn't able to keep up and whatever. Not that anybody was looking or watching. It was all in her head. She was so damn worried about how fast I was going, how much I was getting done, and comparing herself to me that she was insecure and whatever. So she tried to call me out, try to shame me for being fast and getting shit done. Not that I was working so fast or getting so much done. I was efficient. When you're efficient, people notice that shit. You know, so, you know, there's no point in standing out or trying not to stand out because you're exceptional. You're just exceptional, you know, and it's annoying. I try to hold back and blend in, but that shit don't work for me. So she fired herself. She's insecure about the fact that she couldn't keep up, and she was trying to shame me into slowing down like her and whatever. That don't work with me. I'm not gonna slow down for your ass. You know, if you can't keep up, you can't do the job. You know, especially if there's nobody looking, nobody worrying. It's only all in your head that you can't keep up or you can't do things or whatever. People ain't paying attention or whatever. You know. So anyways, she didn't come back, whatever, which was a good witness because she's paying me way too much attention. She was calling me out on stuff or whatever. Oh, you going like this? You going like looking at my face and seeing I'm sweating when I went to the dumpster to dump the stuff in the compactor, you know, noticing that shit and whatever. I'm like, damn, you know. So she even guessed my height right to the last inch, you know. You know, who stares at somebody that close that they know how tall you are in feet and inches, you know. I might notice somebody, I know they're about 6 foot, you know, a little bit more or less than that. But I'm not going to narrow it down to 6'2" and bring it to their attention that I'm noticing that close, you know. So that let me know right there, you paying way too damn much attention to me, you know, and I don't like that. You know, I want to be gray man. I want to be unnoticed. But people will notice you. And they'll watch you, you know. So if you're a prepper, they're going to notice. They pay attention to what I'm bringing for lunch. They want to know what you're drinking. All that bullshit, you know. So that's the way people are, you know. People are going to be your worst nightmare when shit hits the fan and shit gets fucked up. They don't know that you got shit because they watch to the extent to where they don't know what you got and how much you got and whatever, and know that you're prepared, you know. And you're going to have to shoot those fuckers when they come trying to take your shit. That's all there is to it. You know, you're going to have to. You know, you can't take care of everybody. And there's nothing you can do, you know, and they're going to come in force and whatever. So you got to be prepared for these assholes to try and take what you got because they looking, they paying attention, you know. They might not be thinking at the time and whatever, but they notice what you're doing and what you got and how prepared you are and how much shit you got going on, and they're going to commit that shit to memory, and when the time comes, they'll go back onto that memory. Oh, that guy has this, that guy has that. You know, it's fucked up. There's some people running. They got a little race going on there. They got to be all together. Looks like there's all girls. There's a couple of guys thrown in there in the mix, but I think it's mostly women. Yeah. Mostly women. That's that. So, anyway, that's the extent of my video today. Just noticing what people are doing, and they're noticing you, and they're looking to see what you got and what you're doing, how you handle stuff and whatever. And I called them out and whatever, you know. They're looking, trying to read you, you know, like a book, trying to figure out what's going on inside your head. What are you thinking? You know, what the fuck you want to know what I'm thinking? You know, I'm thinking about this damn job. I'm working. You see what I'm doing? You know, they let us have earbuds in the plant and whatever, so I'm listening to music, listening to YouTube music. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to YouTube, different people's channels and whatever. And I'm getting into it. And, you know, nobody has earphones or whatever. They allow it, but they're not doing it. They rather stare at you and figure out what you got going on in your fucking life, you know. They go to the police. Yeah. So that's how it goes. Cole's over there watching the perimeter. He got to come out today. So he's running around. So, but anyway, there's my truck over there, guys. I didn't walk too far away from the truck because I'm tired. I mean, all I could do was get over here to these picnic tables and sit down and relax underneath the shade thing here. I ate before I left home. I had them to make me a plate of food, some cabbage and beef brisket, that I cooked a couple of days ago. So that was good. She didn't like the fact that I put jalapeno peppers in the cabbage. She said it's too strong, so she didn't want to eat it because it burns her mouth or whatever, eating that stuff or whatever. But you just got to get used to it. But I may have been a little heavy-handed with them because I was eating them, and they're a little hot, but they're not unmanageable, But we stopped at Burger King on the way home, and she got a couple of burgers. She was going to get me a Big Mac or quarter pounder or whatever that is at Burger King. I think it's a Whopper. Yeah, she's going to get me a Whopper. But I'm like, no, that's all right. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm trying to lose weight, trying to get myself in shape. I got a few more days until my birthday. I want to be slimmed down a little bit and whatever, and get some muscle up and whatever. And this job is really good for keeping my exercise going. I don't want to waste this time, So I'm gonna enjoy it, whatever. Hopefully, I can get my hair done this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. The security guard job didn't call me back or nothing, so didn't have. They got me scheduled for every weekend, so they didn't bother me throughout the week like they did last week, So that was a nice little shot in the arm, money-wise. That was good. But things are looking up, guys, for me. They're looking up for me. You ready, Cole? You tired? Hey, buddy. Oh, I can hear gunshots. You got a shooting field over on the other side. Skeet shooting the clay targets and whatever. But anyway. Me and Cole are about to get out of here. I'm going to get back to the truck and get home so I can get to bed and get some sleep. And that'll be that. So, anyway. Put in the comments, guys. I like to see if you guys inexperienced people staring at you, looking at you, and then recognizing you years later when you don't pay attention to them at all. You done forgot about them. But they go, I remember you were this way, and blah, blah, blah. You wore this, and you had that on, and you had a dog, and this and that, and whatever. They can describe every detail of you and whatever because they was looking at you that closely or whatever. And you're like, why did I stand out so much in your mind as opposed to other people? Now, just let me know if that happens to you guys. I'm not the only one and whatever. People are just like that. Here comes another guy with a dog. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.